Alrighty. It's 6:32. It is December 7th. It is Thursday. It's been a little choppy week. Hopefully everyone's feeling well. At least you've had some things to do. It feels very micro. Sometimes things are micro, sometimes things are macro. When you're in a range, sometimes again when the market's trying to figure out which way it's going to go, you just have to be a little bit more careful, do a little less. I think, on Tuesday, you came in, things were lower, you were able to buy a dip, things went from kind of red to green, you made some money, came in yesterday, things were up. If you just sold them with a little bit of follow through, you made good money. If you tried to make more money intraday with the action, it just, to me, wasn't very easy. But maybe it was easier to you. My name, by the way, is Scott Rudler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. Welcome to today's 6:30 Club. Feeling a little tired today. A little sometimes you're just like, not that excited about the action. Well, anyway, you look here at the chart of the SPYs, and ultimately it's been a big move, right? A big move from the October lows. Here's where we took back the 8-day, following it all the way up. And now this is just kind of turning into a bit of a choppy mess, where you're getting a little bit of misdirection, a little bit of predatory action, but when you look at it, it still looks just fine. It's just holding here, right? You had a nice little day to buy against on, like I said, on Tuesday, and then yesterday, I know I was up a lot of money by like 950, and then if you sold into strength and tried to buy a dip, it just turned into a bleed to the lows. So now you have a pretty big bearish engulfing candle. The question is, now will it go sideways and work it off, or are we going to all of a sudden get a little bit of continuation down, below the 8-day that's starting to curl over to see the 21-day, which is still fine, but again, it just means the speed is just different. And chances are it's going to happen with the jobs report tomorrow. So the question is, everyone's like, oh, when's bad news going to be bad news, Red Dog? Like yesterday, the ADP was less, and the computers were still programmed to buy the market, and I felt it too. I'm like, I sold into strength, I was long the Qs, I sold Microsoft, I sold NVIDIA up 6, and then I even said to myself, I should be shorting this because, chances are I didn't short it, and all of a sudden you get a big candle like this. So now, hold on a second here. Can't move it around. It looks like, futures are flattish. So yesterday's low is 454.31. We'll see, does it try and push below it and hang here like it's been doing, or is it going to break a little bit? We shall see. The same thing with the Qs. Qs opened up above 388.50 and just sold down all day. I came in long the Qs, and because I bought versus the 21-day, and it felt like an easy trade, and then PS later in the day, just things became a little bit more annoying. Bottom line is still above the 21-day. Just you get a candle like this. The question is now, will it hold this or break? Chances are, if it's going to fill this gap or go a little bit lower, it's probably going to be with the jobs report tomorrow, if that's going to be the case. I also think Tesla's really annoying now. Like Tesla, it's like, 2 days ago it was up 10 in like 2 hours, and by the time it was the end of the day, it was only up 2 or 3. And my Joe, who trades very actively, he started shorting Tesla when it was up 6 2 days ago. If you trade Tesla, you can understand. If not, you're like, what the hell is Rudler talking about? And then he got squeezed out because it went up 9, and that was like by like 1 o'clock or so. And then he's like, okay, let me switch gears. It's strong. And then it was up 10, and then he started buying the pullback into the VWAP, only up 7, and then it bled all the way down to up 2, and there was no rhyme or reason. It was just a lot of ways to lose money. So that's not what you want to do. You don't want to be losing money. Today's Hanukkah, Christmas time. Anyway, so you'll see if this holds. And then you look at the IWM, and had an awesome move. Listen, I made a lot of money in the IWM, bought sets of calls here, I had sets of calls there. I even was accumulating into this move, and now you have a little bit of a red dog reversal where it got above a prior high, couldn't hold it. Now it looks like it's going to see the 8-day, which is methodical action. So sometimes you got to take a step back and just say, look, looks pretty methodical, but when you're in the moment, you're trying to make money. Sometimes it's a little harder than it feels. Then there are people like Red Dog. Did you see the XLE? I'm like, well, the XLE makes sense. It's been lagging this entire time. You know, it looked like it was going to break out right here, and then it failed. That was your out. And then from there, it's just been grinding lower to finally you have a lower wedge, and it broke 2 days ago. So there you have some downside. But no one's really talking about that because everybody was so damn bullish on it, making everyone feel like they don't know what they're doing 2 months ago or into here. How could you not be in the energy names? Where are all these people now? Anyway, it's very specific. And then you have the names that have worked really well, where if you made money and you tried to get away from it and you know, sell into some strength, that you look back like, wow, I could have made so much more money, whether it was in Bitcoin, whether it was in coin, remember Square? Look at that move. I remember buying Square with you guys, and this is one of my biggest trades in November, right here. And look at that nice trend above the 8-day. All you had to do is keep buying it, keep playing it, bull flag continuation patterns. And you know, I don't know why I'm babbling today. I'm babbling a little bit. Red Dog the babbler today. And then I'm looking across about, you know, to see where you want to be, where could you sink your teeth. And right now you really can't sink your teeth into things and try and make good money because you have some of the Mag 7 correcting, right? You look at Meta. Meta doesn't look so great. Meta was awesome, made a lot of money in Meta during this active sequence, and then all of a sudden on this day, Meta lost the 8-day. It took back what looked like it was ready to be a bull flag, had to get out of the way, and then you have a little bit of a bottom from, what was this, Monday, and now all of a sudden looks like a bit of a bear flag that could even go lower. Now it's below the moving averages, and it's really, you know, you just have to be careful, right? This is a, you know, bearish type flag, and you can't just buy dips like we did for a while here from this spot. So that's not so compelling. And then yesterday, I like an idiot, I thought Amazon was going to break out above this area, and I lost money there. So now Amazon's still fine, but choppy as hell, right? Looked like it was ready to go, and then yesterday Kramer was ranting and raving about it, and then a whole lot of nothing. Even Apple, I'm like, hey, maybe Apple will be in cruise control. You know, broke above this upper flag, maybe it goes back to all-time highs into the end of the year, and then nope. So if you added yesterday, that kind of hurt. So just felt like, you know, it's a day in the life of trading, but just felt a little bit more frustrating. And then first time, you know, it looked like this SYM was going to take out an area, right? It looked like it was ready to go. It was up strong in the first, I don't know, 15, 30 minutes. I got involved thinking it was going to break above this, and thank God I got out when it went red, and look at that candle. So anyway, I just felt like maybe the trading gods were programmed against the Red Dog yesterday. Where it went from an easy day yesterday, 24 hours ago, I'm like, I'm up a few thousand here, a few thousand there. My options are good. By the time, you know, the end of the day, I closed on my lows, and I was like, wow, that wasn't a fun day. But some of it was my fault, and some of it was just the markets in the spot. Anyway, you know, guys are still upset about what happened with the GLD, which I get. Looked like it was ready to break out. You had a bit of like a bull flag right here, ready to go. Took out the highs from May, and then trapped everybody, and now it's right in here. But still, overall, macro pattern looks good, but just that kind of action. That kind of action. Well, let's see. Where could we be positive for today? Oh, I did stay with Rivian. Piece of junk little EV stock that looks like it could go to the 200-day. You know what guys made money with? Robinhood. Look at that. Wow. You know why? Because their crypto trading went up. So, but it took the 200 back, had some follow through. So there are things going on, but you have to be in the right place, right time. So let's just go back to the indices because I'm babbling today. Nobody's having fun with Red Dog today, which it happens. It was cold today, but it was my ice barrel today. These two fingers got numb. My pinky still feels like it might fall off, and I had brain freeze for the first time. So that's how my day started. But created adversity helps make the day feel easier, right? Did you ever hear that? So anyway, so here's the SPYs again. Either Either we're going to stay in this upper range or this is going to start rolling over and we're going to see a little bit lower prices. I was just talking to my friend Pete, and he was telling me how next week, calendar-wise, is usually one of the weakest weeks of the year. I don't know if that's the truth. I don't really go by the Trader's Almanac, but there are some seasonal weeks that are worse than others. That's why they come up with the Santa Claus rally, because I think the week prior or so they pull in, so this way the Santa Claus rally, whatever those days are, feel better. But where do they come from, right? They say if the Bulls take Thanksgiving, which they did, right? Thanksgiving, where's November 25th? November 25th was somewhere around here, right? Into highs. That the Bears can take Christmas. So maybe we come back into here, which again, size of the sequence doesn't really matter much. It just depends on, how you're situated with your P&L so you can get paid for December. So anyway, this is your little spot. Does it hold and go sideways? And then tomorrow, just know what you can handle into the jobs report. Jobs report's supposed to be a little light. So if that's the case, maybe the market tries to pop on it, but we'll see if it holds. Yesterday it didn't hold. The TLTs we did really well with, so that was fun. TLTs we were buying. You think about how many options I was buying down here, and then made good money, but they're always like, I'm like, I could probably get to the 200 day. And then it gets to the 200 day, then you have to reflect, how did you participate from here to there? How much could you have made? So sometimes it's just good to look back and really, identify and figure out, what you did well, what you didn't do well, because all these patterns are going to repeat themselves. I've been doing this for 25 years. Sometimes it all lines up and you're like, wow, I really knocked the ball out of the park, or hey, I really, stopped running the bases for a single and I could have been a third. What the hell's the matter with me? I was looking at the stands. Anyway, this probably is a spot where the TLTs will, could use a rest. I would not be buying the TLTs anymore. They're probably down a little bit, extended from the 8-day. But look, just like everything else, it's following the rules, right? Above the 8-day trending. Something's above the 8-day and trending, you want to be long. You want to just have trailing stops, right? Book some money to feel good and net it, but let some things go. NVIDIA. NVIDIA was great, but all of a sudden, look at that candle. And then you look back and you're like, oh, look at it, it makes sense. NVIDIA was broken from here. It was sold off on earnings. You had a bottom tail. This was the day that I bought it. I made good money. I made really good money in NVIDIA. You know why? Because I didn't go back to it. I bought it on Tuesday. I sold some strength, and I thought maybe it can get to 476, and it didn't. Went to 473, which kind of close. And then it failed to hold 466, so that was your out. Did you think this kind of candle was going to show up? And now who knows? Does it mean that this is going even lower? But again, here you're above the 8-day. It's trending and trending and trending and trending. Here it breaks, and then it becomes something to sell into. It's that easy. We should all turn ourselves into machines and black boxes. It might make it a little bit easier. Keep some of the what's it called? The emotions out of it. Anyway, I'm going to do a 6:30 club tomorrow because I feel like you got no benefit out of this one today. I'm pretty light. I have some options, leftover options going on. Hard to have conviction on whether or not we're going to pull back a few percentage points after the size we had in November, whether we're going to do that prior to the Christmas rally. It's hard to be super long into tomorrow, and then you have the CPI next week, and then you also have the Fed next week. So, I would just look for setups. If you're up money by 950, appreciate it, say thank you, and you don't need to revisit things that are choppy throughout the course of the day. Sometimes days can add up to a great day, and sometimes you could beat your highs by 950 or 1015, play your setup, and then give too much money away trying to add to it. So don't be that guy adding to it. Just try to do a little bit, but if it doesn't work, that's it. Get off the desk, go to the gym, go for a walk, go in your ice barrel, have some fun with your spouse, walk the dog, but don't overtrade. Anyway, I appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. And I'll post about 45 charts and play maybe 3 of them today. No, I'm kidding. I'll see you guys a little bit later.